Hi, I'm Allison, and here's my story. How did I start cooking with friends? I mean, why have I become this crazy, passionate kind of woman that wants everybody to try it? And why? Well, here's my story. See, once upon a time when I was a little girl and I had a mom and a dad that were always in the kitchen. They were always cooking together. And they always made really delicious, wonderful, yummy, yummy food. So I was intrigued and I started kind of at an early age going into the kitchen and watching and then beginning to chop and then tasting and just kind of learning. And then when I became an adolescent, I found myself in the kitchen with my dad a lot. And he and I would chop together, we'd create together, and we even began cooking the family meal together. And it was something that really worked for me as an adolescent, someone that didn't really want to be wasting time with, kind of other teens getting into trouble. So it was kind of my place. But then I grew up a little bit. I went to college and went to grad school, and I still cooked. But it wasn't until I had little tiny children, babies. I had a baby and a 2-year-old. When I was sitting in the waiting room at my son's gymnastic class, and I had a baby and my friend had 2 little babies, and we started talking about cooking and dinner and what should we feed our little ones, and they struggle with what they'll eat, and it was really frustrating, but we both love to cook and our boys seemed to get along beautifully. And all of a sudden, and I say this is my Reese's peanut butter moment, but you know what it is? It was the you got your chocolate in my peanut butter moment when my friend said, I love to cook, you love to cook? And I said, yeah. And then we said, you know what? We should cook together. And it was a simple, tiny revelation that brought us back to kind of ancient times when people used to cook together, and that's the way life used to be. People aren't supposed to be alone. They aren't supposed to do a whole lot of anything alone. In fact, it's kind of proven that friends are incredibly beneficial and incredibly important for a person's emotional well-being. So why not in the kitchen? And there you go. So I kind of decided to share my tomato sauce recipe that I had kind of created with my dad, and she offered up a whole bunch of her basil from the garden, and we created a sauce, and the kids were amazing. They came in and out for tastes, and anyway, in a nutshell, through the years, we cooked together. And then as we cooked together, other friends would walk into our kitchen and say, what are you guys doing? I want in. And then they began cooking with us, and those friends began cooking with their friends, and it became bigger and bigger and bigger. And then I said, okay, well, it's time to create some sort of resource or website for people to come together to find information and understand what cooking with friends is all about. And that's why I'm here. I'm here to help you, and I'm here to inspire you, and I'm here to just kind of preach the old gospel of cooking with friends and get you to try it. It's an amazing way of life, and for me, it's natural. And for so many women across America, it's also something that is working. So that's my story, and I hope that you try, because it's worth it. And you know what? Maybe you'll be starting a tradition that your children will then hand down to their children, because isn't that what it's about? It's about cementing and forming relationships. That's what life is, right? So why not in the kitchen? Thank you for watching and listening to my story.